Kansas City Municipal Stadium, the Pennant Porch. In an attempt to emulate the Yankees' short porch, A's owner Charlie Finley installed the Pennant Porch in Kansas City's Municipal Stadium, a right field fence just 296 feet from home plate. However, MLB's rules required a minimum distance of 325 feet, so Finley was forced to move the fence back. Ever the showman, he kept the 296-foot line marked and would announce during games when a ball would have been a home run in Yankee Stadium, kinda like all the whiny Red Sox fans on X do today. While the short-lived feature had very little statistical impact, it was certainly a funny PR stunt. Fenway Park, the Green Monster. The most iconic wall in baseball, standing in Fenway Park's left field, the Green Monster towers 37 feet and 2 inches in the air, 310 feet from home plate, and routinely turns home runs into high-bouncing singles or doubles, and fly balls into home runs. A ladder embedded in the wall that no longer even serves a function adds another unpredictable element, with the ball ricocheting off of it in weird angles. Additionally, the manual scoreboard on the wall sometimes gets the ball stuck in it. Originally put up in 1910 by then Red Sox owner John Taylor in order to keep people from getting a free view of the games, the wall has become a staple of Fenway that requires left fielders to play a little differently than they do anywhere else. Polo Grounds, center field. The Polo Grounds remains unmatched in oddity due to its extreme field dimensions. Serving as home to 3 MLB franchises in its many years, the center field wall stretched a staggering 483 feet from home plate, making home runs to center nearly impossible and favoring long inside the park plays. In stark contrast, the foul lines were absurdly short, 258 feet to left and 279 to right, turning lazy pop flies into homers. A legendary MLB The Show venue, this center field alignment led to arguably the most famous catch in baseball history, when Willie Mays made an over-the-shoulder basket catch running at full speed 420 feet out during the 1954 World Series. Astrodome, Astroturf. Dubbed the 8th wonder of the world, the Astrodome was the first dome stadium and completely redefined ballpark design. Its clear roof panels created glare that made it difficult for outfielders to see fly balls, leading to the panels being painted and the natural grass dying. This ushered in the era of Astroturf. This hard material was the first ever artificial playing surface installed in an MLB stadium, and it made balls move faster and increased the risk of injuries. Astroturf was later installed in 14 other stadiums before being phased out in the 1990s for a return to natural grass. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, Screen Monster. When the Dodgers moved west in 1958, they temporarily played in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, which was ill-suited for baseball. The left field line was only 250 feet from home plate, and to remedy this, Dodgers owner Walter O'Malley had a 40-foot net erected in left that some called the Screen Monster. Meanwhile, right field stretched a daunting 440 feet. The extreme imbalance created a lopsided dynamic that overwhelmingly favored right-handed hitters. Though it wasn't their home for long, the Coliseum did have its moments, with the Dodgers winning the 1959 World Series while calling it home, playing 3 games to over 90,000 each, including an all-time World Series record, 92,706 in Game 5. All in all, the Screen Monster era was a unique chapter in Dodgers history, taking place in one of sports' most iconic stadiums. Tiger Stadium, right field overhang. Detroit's Tiger Stadium featured a second deck overhang in right field. The deck was added in 1936 when the ballpark expanded, built over the existing right field pavilion and bleachers. To maximize seating, the new upper deck extended 10 feet beyond the outfield wall. This unique feature sometimes turned towering fly balls into home runs and was a staple of the once iconic Jewel Box Park. To improve visibility under the overhang, spotlights were later installed above the warning track. Cleveland Municipal Stadium, Moveable Fences. In 1947, legendary baseball owner Bill Veeck introduced movable fences at Municipal Stadium, adjusting them game by game to favor the Indians' hitters or pitchers, depending on the matchup. The fences could be shifted up to 15 feet in or out, effectively altering the field dimensions overnight. While innovative, the tactic was viewed as unfair manipulation of the game and was soon outlawed by Major League Baseball. The experiment showcased a bold if short-lived approach to gaining a competitive edge through stadium design, and was another one of Veeck's outlandish and wild ideas. Wrigley Field, the Ivy. Wrigley Field's most famous feature is its ivy-covered brick outfield walls, yet another Bill Veeck special. Installed in 1937, it hides a solid brick wall behind it. While aesthetically pleasing, it makes outfield play dangerous and unpredictable. If a ball becomes lost or lodged in the ivy, it results in a ground rule double, but only if the outfielder raises their hands. Failure to do so can turn a stuck ball into an inside the park home run. In the first weeks of the baseball season, the ivy has not yet leafed out, and all that is visible are the vines. However, as the baseball season progresses further into the spring, the ivy grows thick and green. In the autumn, generally during the postseason, the ivy turns red. If you're interested in Bill Veeck and his stunts, I made a video on the time he let the fans manage the game that you should definitely check out. Baker Bowl, 60-foot right field wall. The Baker Bowl, former home of the Phillies, was notorious for its 60-foot high right field wall, necessary due to the short 280-foot foul line constrained by nearby railroad tracks. Made from wood, tin, and topped with a wire screen, the towering wall was meant to prevent cheap home runs, but in practice, the short porch turned the stadium into a hitter's haven. The quirky structure led to an inflated number of home runs, especially for left-handed batters, and earned the park a reputation as one of the most offense-friendly environments in baseball history. Minute Maid Park, Tal's Hill. Until 2016, Minute Maid Park, now called Dyken Park, was home to Tal's Hill, an incline in center field with an in-play flagpole, which was an oddity akin to those of the old-school ballpark days. The 90-foot wide, 30-degree slope tested outfielders' athleticism and often led to stumbling catches and sometimes faceplants. While it was eventually removed and replaced with a boring, generic batter's eye, it remains a beloved memory of the park's early years. Forbes Field, Light Towers. Pittsburgh's Forbes Field featured the cages of 3 light towers in the outfield, ranging from center to left field. These were in the field of play, making for some interesting moments as players in the outfield had to navigate around them. This, combined with the deep dimensions, made it so many triples and inside the park home runs were hit here. For this reason, Forbes Field is remembered as one of the hardest ballparks to hit a ball out at. Tropicana Field, Catwalks. Tropicana Field's catwalks are among the most controversial features in baseball. 4 rings labeled A through D support the dome and house lights and speakers. Balls hitting catwalks A or B in fair territory remain in play or may become ground rule doubles. Balls hitting catwalks C or D are automatic home runs, regardless of their actual trajectory. These rules create bizarre situations where pop-ups can turn into homers or get lost in the roof entirely, frustrating players and challenging umpires in equal measure. Yankee Stadium, Monument Park. From the 1930s through the 1970s, Old Yankee Stadium's deep center field housed 3 in-play monuments honoring legends Miller Huggins, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth. Located 460 feet from home plate, they rarely came into play, but added a surreal, reverent obstacle to the field. Outfielders would have to navigate around these marble structures on deep fly balls. The monuments were later moved beyond the fence, but they remain a legendary piece of the old stadium's lore.